Former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Michael Jeffries has been criminally charged by U.S. federal prosecutors with sex trafficking and prostitution involving dozens of men. The 16-count indictment was unveiled on Tuesday in Brooklyn, New York, a decade after the 80-year-old left the retailer he built over 22 years into a popular clothing brand known for sexually charged marketing. The charges come after a BBC investigation and proposed class action lawsuit, accusing Mr. Jeffries of baiting young men with the prospect of modeling jobs to lure them into traveling around the world so they could be sexually abused. The defendants also include Jeffries' 61-year-old partner, Matthew Smith, and 71-year-old James Jacobson, who were both arrested alongside the former CEO and allegedly recruited men. Each was charged with 1 count of sex trafficking and 15 counts of interstate prostitution related to 15 unnamed victims between 2008 and 2015. If convicted, the trio face possible life sentences and mandatory minimum 15-year prison terms for the sex trafficking charges. They face up to 20 years in prison for the interstate prostitution charges. They are expected to appear in courts in Florida and Minnesota and may appear in Brooklyn in coming weeks. Prosecutors said Mr. Jeffries and Mr. Smith paid for dozens of men to meet them for sex at their homes in Manhattan and in the Hamptons in Long Island, New York, as well as at hotels in places such as England, France, Italy, Morocco, and St. Bart's. The indictment against Mr. Jeffries and Mr. Smith alleged the pair were dedicated to fulfilling their sexual desires and ensuring that their international sex trafficking and prostitution business was kept secret, thereby maintaining Mr. Jeffries' powerful reputation. Prosecutors said Mr. Jacobson typically conducted tryouts where male recruits as young as 19 would have sex with him before being referred to Mr. Jeffries and Mr. Smith. They also said the scheme involved muscle relaxants known as poppers and props such as large sex toys and high-pressured enemas. Men were required to sign non-disclosure agreements and pay damages if they told anyone, including family and friends, what had occurred.